Whalley also has, as well as the Abbey, a viaduct. Look at that. A viaduct which takes trains. Now, viaducts were things that were built sort of rather during Victorian times, and the idea was that they took trains that were loaded with coal and other sorts of things, destination from A to B. And the best way they thought of doing that across a country, particularly across a countryside that was hilly or sort of full of terrains, is to have a level track. And in order to do that, they had to do a really sort of long bridge. Now, these bridges mimic, if you like, the style that you would tend to see in a much older construction. The older constructions were known as aqueducts, and they look exactly the same, but instead of having a train track on top, it would have a little sort of well, I suppose you call it a channel, and water would run along it. And that was a Roman idea, and the idea was to get water from A to B. So these things, whilst they're far, far more modern, are based on the Roman design of an aqueduct. But we now call them viaducts, which basically means duct for a road. Via, again, is Roman, which means way or road or street. That's what it's supposed to be. So a viaduct is like a street carrying duct, I suppose. It's amazing. This is a gatehouse, and I think this gatehouse is for the sort of town, really. It's obviously connected to the Abbey, which is sort of over here, and a number of these buildings are connected to the Abbey. The Abbey itself is in ruins, but the floor plan is there, and it was free for us at this time of year. I'm not sure it's free during the summer. The Abbey had lots of stuff, lots of buildings with it, some of which are owned by the church that's just along here, which is the Roman Catholic Church of the English Martyrs, which is shut, but it has nice grounds that you can look in. Some of it is converted to a visitor centre, a cafe artisan, which specialises in helping autistic people. There's a little gallery there and a little gift shop, etc. And some of it is sort of turned into a conference centre. So, yeah. Now, the other thing is that Whalley also has a working abbey, which is next to the defunct abbey, so to speak, and that is used as the main sort of retreat place for the diocese around here, and a sort of teaching place as well. And that is really what I have left to look at. Whether that is open or not, we don't know, and we have driven past it. Looks slightly hideous because it seems to be undergoing major renovations, sort of like cleaning of the outside, so there's a lot of scaffolding. But I'm going to go around and have a look, and then I shall have something to eat. I think I shall have lunch in Whalley, and then I shall catch the bus. It's the same bus, the 280, or is it the 820, or one or the other, I can't remember which runs between Clitheroe. Well, it actually runs between Skipton and Preston, but it covers Clitheroe, Whalley, and then passes very close to the area where I can get off and walk home. My parents brought me here, but they have gone now, having seen as much as they want to see. So there we are. So the new abbey is a church, I think, to St Mary and All Angels or something like that, and it is a Dark Ages church. So it's a Saxon church. Saxon churches are late Saxon churches are pretty much like churches, but they have funny windows that look a lot like that in the top of them, I've come to realise. So another good example was the one at Ribchester. You're talking about 600s or 700s. So Saxon churches, when the Roman Catholic Church had re-invaded after the fall back of the Roman Empire. Sadly, it's also closed for those renovations. I've walked along the High Street a little, I think it must be the High Street, and I found myself in the Methodist Church, which is also closed. Got nice gardens, and now I'm waiting for my pickup. How embarrassing.